They told her no before she ever touched the rifle. Not because she failed a test, not because she missed a target, but because they decided she did not belong. Years later, she will return to the same mountains and make a single shot that erased every doubt, every insult, and every locked door that once stood in her way. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Lena Holley. She grew up in a quiet farming town where mornings smelled like dust and wheat, and evenings ended with stars spread wide across the sky. Her father taught her patience before he taught her precision. He showed her how to wait, how to breathe, how to see the world slow down when focus took over. By the time she was a teenager, she could hit a tin can at distances most adults would not even attempt. Still, she never spoke loudly about it. She learned early that talent makes noise only when it is used. When Lena joined the Army, she did not announce her goals. She trained hard, followed orders, and watched carefully. She saw how some soldiers were praised before they proved anything, and how others had to prove everything twice. When the call for sniper school candidates went out, she submitted her name without ceremony. She passed the physical tests. She aced the written exams. Her shooting scores placed her near the top. Then came the interview. The officers barely looked at her file. One of them glanced at her hands and asked how long she had been shooting. Another smirked and said sniper school was not a place for experiments. A third leaned back and said rejection was not personal. Lena was dismissed in under 3 minutes. Outside the building, other candidates celebrated their acceptance. Some patted each other on the back. One laughed and said the course would break most people. Lena stood alone, staring at the door she had just walked through, feeling the weight of something heavier than failure. She felt erased. For weeks after, she trained in silence. While others rested, she studied wind patterns. While others talked, she practiced breathing control. She memorized distances by eye. She learned how terrain lies and how it lies to you. She did not complain. She did not argue. She decided that if she was going to be ignored, she would become undeniable. Time passed. Missions came and went. Lena served as a marksman in support roles, often covering teams from positions nobody noticed. Her shots saved lives without drawing attention. Commanders began requesting her by name, though few knew her face. Still, sniper school remained close to her. Then a new challenge emerged. During a multinational training exercise in a high-altitude range, a record was mentioned casually during a briefing. The longest confirmed sniper shot in the program had stood for years. It was a distance most shooters considered theoretical. Wind shifts, bullet drop, air density, and human error made it nearly impossible. The record was not an official challenge. It was a story told to remind soldiers of limits. Lena listened quietly. Later that night, she requested permission to attempt a long-range verification shot during calibration drills. The officer on duty raised an eyebrow, but agreed, assuming it would be a learning exercise. No announcement was made. No crowd gathered. A target was placed at an extreme distance across a valley shaped by rock and thin air. Lena lay prone, feeling the cold seep through her uniform. She measured the wind not just at her position, but across the entire path. She adjusted for elevation, humidity, and temperature. She waited until everything aligned, not rushing, not hesitating. Her breathing slowed. The world narrowed to math, instinct, and trust. She fired once. The spotter hesitated, then checked again. The target marker confirmed the impact. A clean hit. The range officer asked for the distance to be remeasured. It was, twice. Each time, the number came back higher than expected. Word spread quickly. Commanders arrived. Data was reviewed. Conditions were verified. Ballistics were recalculated. The shot held. Lena had not only met the record, she had surpassed it. Someone finally asked her why she had never gone to sniper school. She answered calmly that she had applied and been rejected. Silence followed. Within days, Lena was summoned to the same building where she had once been dismissed. This time, the officers stood when she entered. Her record was projected on a screen behind them. The rejection notes were still in her file, now highlighted by contrast. One officer admitted the decision had been based on assumptions. Another said talent sometimes hides in plain sight. Lena listened without expression. She was offered immediate entry into sniper school with recognition for her achievement. She accepted, not as vindication, but as continuation. At sniper school, Lena did not boast. She trained. She learned. She refined what she already knew and absorbed what she did not. Instructors who once doubted her began using her techniques as examples. Students gathered quietly to ask how she read the wind so well, how she stayed calm under pressure. She told them the truth. Focus is built when no one is watching. Confidence grows when excuses are removed. Limits are often stories repeated until someone stops believing them. When she graduated, Lena did not pose for headlines. She returned to service, carrying the same quiet discipline she always had. But the record remained, written into manuals and whispered in training halls. It became a reminder that rejection is not a verdict, and silence is not absence. Years later, a new recruit stood outside sniper school after being told no. Lena passed by, paused, and said one sentence that changed everything. Train anyway. Because sometimes the longest shot is not measured in distance, but in patience. Sometimes the target is not downrange, but standing between who you are and who they think you can be. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.